Hear ye, O Israel, hear ye, O Israel. Remember. Israel has a problem remembering. Jacob has a problem remembering. What is it that they have a problem with remembering? Instructions on how to do things. Blueprint on how to make things happen. You want to rule? You must follow the blueprint. There is a blueprint that will help you rule and rule properly. What is that blueprint? Let's understand something real quick. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 29, verse 23. Isaiah 29:23. Read. Nice and loud for me.
But when he seeth his children, the work of mine hands, in the midst of him, they shall sanctify my name, and sanctify the Holy One of Jacob, and shall fear the God YahwehA, or you of Israel.
It's very important that in this scripture, I want to go into detail about it, but I'm trying to speed it along. So it's very important you understand that last part. You fear the God of Israel. That should be very important to you because that's how you're going to rule. Through the fear of God. You're going to respect and honor God, which I've taught you that God really is Yud. Because you're supposed to rule as God. You're supposed to rule as Yud. Yeah? Well, let's prove it. Hebrews 34. Well, you know what? This is in the concordance. In the Hebrew concordance, Strong's Doctrine Concordance, under 34:78, it says that Yisrael, or Israel, Yud Sin Resh Aleph Lamed, he will rule as God. I know you may have read that a lot of times when you looked it up, or maybe you haven't. Maybe it's those of you that never seen it before. But the purpose is you're going to rule as God, meaning rule as Yud. Why is all of this like this? See, there's something that took place that gave you the power or instructed you with the power to be able to do this. You just read where Judah is chosen to be the ruler. Who chose you to do that? Yahweh. He chose me. Yeah. You can say it good, but you don't understand it. You don't know how to do it. But before we go into that, why is it you don't know how to do it? Because you think that every time you got to rule, you got to take somebody money. Well, we need the funds to be able to get this done. You don't need to do any of that. People are ruling today because there's free access to everything. Yahweh ben Yahweh did all of that back then and used all of that back then to prove something and bring about a certain mindset. He had to dig you out of a certain mindset and place you in a mindset that you needed. But today, it's not required because that's the biggest thing that's holding y'all back. That's the biggest thing that holds us back. Everybody is worried about funds and worried about where the tithe is going. And they want to talk about Malachi 3:6-10 and bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse that there may be meat in my house and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord YahwehA. Yeah, okay, y'all been doing all of that. Yes, Yahweh came and he did all of that. He showed you, bring me the tithes, I'm going to do that. And he built the storehouse and he built businesses and he built all of this with the help of every single individual. And where is it today? Where is it? Y'all can talk about it. You can show it off on Facebook and on social media, but where is it? Where's all those that helped him do it? Why aren't they doing it? It's because the blueprint is not in you. And when the blueprint is not in you, you are unable to perform the job. Yahweh ben Yahweh came with no money. Do you understand that? And made everything happen. Very important for you to pay attention to that. Here it is, somebody came with no money, but yet made everything happen. That's Yahweh. That's ruling as God. That's ruling as you, to where you just speak and it happens. You don't need it in your pocket. You already understand that the earth is yours and the fullness thereof, and the people and all that's in it belongs to you. So when you say, they do. When you talk, they act. When you speak, they move and make it happen. That's how you rule as God. But something had to happen. What was it that had to happen? Genesis 32. Genesis 32:24. Read.
And Jacob was left alone.
Notice that Jacob was left alone. Because something has to happen in order for Jacob to do this. Okay, read.
And there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. And he said, Let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, What is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel.
See, a name change had to take place. Some wrestling had to take place. That's what I'm teaching you when I tell you that you must take this knowledge from me, Yud. You must take Yud from me in Revelation chapter 10. I'm not going to just give it to you. You got to have the will and the determination, like Jacob, to say, I'm not letting you go until you bless me. You got to take it. You got to want it. And a name change is going to take place within you. See, but a name change is going to take place. We're talking about blueprints. We're talking about knowledge. We're talking about skill. Because you can't do this as a certain name. You can't do this with a certain name. Something has to change. The information in that name won't allow you to do the things that this information in this name will do. As Jacob, you can't rule as God. You can't rule as Yud. But as Israel, come on, give it to me. Your name's going to be changed. It's no longer going to be Jacob. It's going to be what?
But Israel.
But Israel, read for me. Keep going.
For as a prince hast thou power with Yud.
Listen, as a prince, can't be the king yet. So as a prince, has thou power with Yud. Why? Why power with Yud? Because in the Hebrew Strong's Doctrine Concordance of the Bible, Yud under 3027 means power. And Yud is power. So you'll have power with Yud. That's why you have to rule as Yud. That's the power. Your power is with Yud. Do you understand that? Let me say it again for you. You're going to rule as Yud, and your power is what? Read that scripture again.
With Yud.
With Yud. Maybe somebody is getting it. Maybe somebody is going to hear this. Maybe somebody is going to take this. Because I've been teaching you for the past 10 years in hopes of something. Turn to Acts chapter 7, verse 25. Acts 7:25. This was my hopes when Yahweh sent me to do this. Acts 7:25. Ready? Read.
For he supposed his brethren would have understood how that Yud by his hand would deliver them, but they understood not.
See? Read that again. For he supposed his brethren, that my brethren, you, my fellow Hebrews, would what?
Understand.
You would understand something. Go ahead.
How that Yud by his hand would deliver them.
But it said,
they understood not.
By his hand would deliver you. By Yud, you will be delivered. But you understood not for these past 10 years. I came teaching and bringing you to the minds of the people after 2012 and within 2012. All the way up now, it's 2022. That's 10 years later. And y'all still ain't getting it. Not all of you. Some of you, I got a pretty good amount of people right now. But see, I have a job to do. My job is to do something and gather my army and then gather Israel. That's what this class is a call to Israel to get you prepared and ready. Because my army is getting prepared and ready. They already instructed. They already know that they're the selected protagonists. Yeah, there's a lot of elect out there, but see, they know, my army, my students know that they are the selected protagonists. Job 27:11. Listen to this. Ooh, Yahweh. 27:11.
I will teach you by the hand of you.
Listen to that. I will what?
Teach you.
Teach you by the hand of Yahweh, of God, of Yud.
That which is with the Almighty will I not conceal.
I'm going to teach you all of this. That which is with the Almighty YahwehA. I'm not going to conceal it to you that wrestle with me. Come to take it from me. I'm going to be willing to bless you, Yisrael. I'm going to be willing to hold you, Yisrael, as you hold me. And we fulfill a great work. Why do you think that word is there? The Holy One of Israel. The Holy One. Yud's numerical value is 10. Drop the 0. You got 1. You got 1. Aleph is 1. But see, Aleph is made up of 2 Yuds and a Wav. Yud is involved in the beginning, secretly. And up to 10 in infinity. The Holy One. Why? Because the 10th shall be holy. The 10th shall be holy. Leviticus 27:32. You've been running around ignorantly saying, oh, the Holy One of Israel all the time. You don't know why he's the Holy One of Israel. Oh, because he's holy. Because he's God. No, why? Read Leviticus 27:32.
And concerning the tithe of the herd or of the flock, even of whatsoever passeth under the rod, the 10th shall be holy unto the Lord YahwehA.
The 10th shall be holy unto the Lord YahwehA. Why? Because the 10th is sitting in the first place of the name YahwehA. Yud 10. Yud 10. And holy It's holy because it's sacred. It's set apart. Yud is the only Hebrew alphabet that's set apart from every single alphabet there is. It is the only one that hovers or rides above the ground level, defying gravity. Yud is the one that created every single alphabet. Not one alphabet can start without Yud, and not one alphabet can end without Yud. That's how powerful Yud is. There can be no other alphabet without the perspective of Yud. Don't you want to rule as Yud, Yisrael, Yahweh? You can't even call yourself Yahweh without Yud. You can't even call yourself Yisrael without Yud. You was calling yourself Jacob, and it's really Yaakov. That begins with a Yud, and you still was ignorant of Yud and wasn't able to rule. Come and let Yud teach you how to rule. Stop trying to rob the masses. Stop worried about what they're doing with their tithes and offerings, and worry about getting the knowledge to the people. Worry about getting yourself proper. See, all of that which Yahweh ben Yahweh built, you wasn't able to hold on to it. And I don't care what leader come and build something up, you still ain't going to be able to hold on to it because the blueprint is not in you. And when that leader fade away, all of which that leader had is going to fade away too. Because it's not in you. You don't have the know-how. And even if you get the know-how, you don't have the determination. You got to be very ambitious about this. You got to be very determined until your last breath. 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 Yes, Yahweh. Yes, Yahweh. And then something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. Read Genesis 32. Continue reading where you left off at.
And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with you and with men, and hast prevailed. And Jacob asked him and said, tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen Yud face to face, and my life is preserved.
Now this name that Jacob named it, it says the face of God. That's what it means. He named it that because he actually got to see the face of Yud, and his life was preserved. He was actually shown something now. He met me face to face. Yeah, read that again. Face to face.
And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen you face to face, and my life is preserved.
Yes, Yahweh. Face to face. We got a great work, Israel. Oh, Israel. Oh, Israel. Remember how ye shall rule. Remember how it shall be. Remember where your power comes from. Remember. You can't just be calling yourself and running around and thinking you know what you're doing. That's why you keep failing. You got to understand the Yud. You got to understand the Sin, the Resh, the Aleph, and the Lamed. Notice that the Lamed is at the end because that deals with teaching. deals with teaching. But you first got to get to know that Yud. Let's get it together, Israel. Rule as Yud. And remember,